I was just really pleased that you were able to chair the jury this year, because I don't think we've ever had a chair that's sort of got it wrong, but our reputation is on having an honest broker. Because I've never chosen a winner in my life. I'm not allowed to.
No.
So it is delegated to the jury. So, having a good chair, and because we've known each other for a long time, but we haven't really met properly, have we?
No, we haven't.
Sort of, you're either arriving at a festival and I'm leaving, or whatever.
And our festivals overlap.
Yes, yeah. So we need to move one of them.
Yeah.
We could discuss that later, maybe.
We will. Yeah.
So when I rang to ask you to chair, were you like, oh, great, or was it something else to add to my list?
That was like, finally. What took you so long? No, it was great. I was on board immediately. Yeah, it wasn't a question. I was just happy the festivals didn't overlap. Yeah. And then I learned that, final deliberation was during my festival. So that was a bit of a worry, but it was fine.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, the invitation was late, as you put it, in that the juries used to come to the festival and actually watch the films during the festival.
Yeah.
And because of the pandemic, we kind of changed the way the process worked. So, and we realised by, asking the jury members to watch the work remotely, they could be anywhere on the planet. So our diversity, which we were doing okay with actually, just improved overnight. So we've kept that. We kept that. So it means that we can then have people like yourself who, because you said the festivals are close, you can make it so. The final weekend of Iris is where all the juries come together, and it kind of works.
Yeah.
So I don't even listen in. So even when the jury members would meet here in Cardiff, I was never privy to any conversation.
Yeah.
I know you've done loads of different juries as well. Is there a kind of a way you would describe how juries work? Are there sort of unifying themes, or are they all distinctly different and individual?
You have different individuals on the jury, but the process, I find, when you come in and you have your top 3 or top 5 films, there's always common ground, which makes the process much easier.
Do you find that some jury members, and you don't have to mention the Iris jury this year, but some people bring an ego into the conversations about the films?
Not in my experience, no. I've been on a lot of juries, and I haven't. It's all gone really well.
Oh, that's good, because I've actually been on jury members where, very quickly, we were all able to identify 1 or 2 individuals we'd want to shoot, really, who just would not accept collective. I was going to say collective government, but collective responsibility. That film, nobody else liked it, so we just move on. They would kind of almost say, anyway, can we just come back to this film again? And you're thinking, we've been there, we've all,
Yeah.
But
I guess I've just been lucky. For the most part, I've always gotten my choice in, which is,
I always get my choice. So let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
One of the things we say repeatedly at Iris, it's in all the marketing, that we screen the best of the best. That other people comment that it's kind of like the gay Oscars and kind of stuff like that. And we feel reasonably confident that might be true, because we delegate the responsibility to, there's 25 odd partners located in about 20 countries. We then add another 10 through a grueling pre-selection process, about 500 shorts.
Submissions.
And then they go down to 10, which we add to the 25, and then we end up with 35.
Yeah.
So we feel confident from what you saw this year and from your experience of travelling to festivals globally. Do you think it's an accurate description that the best of the best are part of the Iris competition?
Yeah, I'd say so. Absolutely. I mean, you have the nominating festivals, and they are from all over the world. So you get the great diversity in the selection and in the filmmakers and topics. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be. I mean, film is personal; it's subjective. So there's always going to be some films that you and I, or anyone on the jury, will feel, oh, it should be in, but you know, I mean, so many films. I mean, I feel like it's a great cross section of everything that's been happening the last year.
Well, well, thank you for confirming that, because it's an important thing for us. You know, it is, you know, maintaining all of those relationships. I think we are allowed to talk about the winners, because obviously this is going to be shown post awards.
What, like mentioning?
Oh yeah,
the winners?
Yeah, we can do that. We can. We're allowed to. Not the best British, of course, because that wasn't you.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about them, but we can talk about the process.
Okay.
So I'm really pleased with the decision, by the way. So
Me too.
So we're not. There's not going to. It's just going to be a very boring conversation. Actually, we're just saying, is it a fab film? Yeah, it's a fab film. One of the things for us as a festival, which is interesting, we had 3 winners from Australia, one year after the other.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, and it got to the point where we confirmed to everybody that the juries were independent, and they made the decision that they wanted to.
Yeah.
Obviously, by the 3rd time, they will have known we're doing this for the 3rd time, so they had to be unbelievably confident that that was the film, which they were, and we've made 3 amazing films with those 3 winners. So to have a 4th, it will be interesting to see how the media pick it up.
Yeah. Had I known.
So for me, I'm just wondering, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my time if I think about, is there something about Australia? You know, is there something about where they're located, the distance from Hollywood, the distance from mainland Europe, or wherever we think the centre of the universe is? Or is there something about, you know, the culture? Is there some, you know, what is it? You know, is it just luck?
But no,
Because I'm thinking Muriel's Wedding, I'm thinking Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah.
There's a few, because I got totally involved with Australian cinema when I was running another festival years ago. So we used to screen all the features that never got a distribution deal. Right. And I was always able to see something quite wonderful. There was a film which we showed called Love Serenade, and not many people have seen it. But I fell in love with it. And I actually, in a flurry of excitement, predicted this was going to be the next Muriel's Wedding. Well, it was never actually distributed in theatres, in cinemas in the UK. So clearly, I have no idea what I'm talking about. But then maybe it's maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just you know, because I was trying to work out. So maybe it's an academic job for somebody. You know, is it the way they teach film there?
Well, it's like I didn't get an Australian vibe from the film. Like, I thought it was British.
Oh, wow.
Then I saw it again and it's like, oh, there is an accent there.
Because for me, that opening shot, you know, which shows, it's not trailer trash, but there is that expansive flatness. And that just, that the second I saw that, I just thought Australia, but
yeah,
I quite like the idea you thought that was British.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. It could be anywhere, really.
Yeah. But I thought it was interesting, a lot of the things we've been talking about over the last sort of 3 or 4 years is, you know, intersectionality, you know, bringing the gay with, and clearly this film deals with people who are hard of hearing or no hearing. but it almost didn't feel that it was anything to do with that either.
Yeah.
Although that was so obviously one of the the issues
Yeah.
that they deal with. But I thought they dealt with that in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
But I thought the issue of race was interesting.
Yeah.
With the animals. But they presented it just as two young. Well, how old do you think the characters are? Are they
12,
12,
13.
So there's a beautiful innocence, isn't there?
Yeah.
So what did the jury pick up on with the film? What were some of the reasons why they wanted to award them the Iris Prize this year?
I mean, it just grabbed you immediately. The bond that they shared when it's like, I don't know. It's difficult to explain when you just get pulled in right away. You connect. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's ambiguous. It could be a beautiful friendship. It could be like a love story.
It is ambiguous, isn't it? 'Cause I like the line, I like the line where one of the boys says, "He's like me."
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh my, this is intersectionality on such a close level.
Yeah.
Is he obviously deaf like him, or is he potentially gay like him?
Yeah.
So I thought that was beautiful, and
It is.
and being a romantic person, I like the touching of the fingers.
Yeah.
And I started crying, which is what I do now anyway.
Oh, we all, yeah. The older I get.
So we've.
Oh, we are.
So that's the winner.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, I loved watching all of these films. Many tears and yeah. No, it's been such a privilege and honor.
So that was the winner.
Yeah.
I've always challenged myself about the importance of, some people say they also ran, some people say the ones that came second and third and fourth, or highly commended. So what did you call it? Remember when we were talking?
Honourable mention.
Honourable mention.
Yeah.
Honourable mention, highly commended. They're clearly important to the filmmakers because obviously, they want to win, don't they? Especially if there's money to make another film. The jury this year, chaired by your good self, identified 3 films. What was it about those 3 films? Because you had 36 altogether.
Yeah.
So what was it about those 3 that made you feel they demanded attention, they needed to be considered as highly commended or whatever?
I mean, we went through a long list of films that we talked about. I think we had like maybe 10 or 12 films on the final list that we talked about, and I don't know, we wanted like a cross section. Representation was important to us, so you had different topics and styles of filmmaking and various areas of the community, and yeah, so all that came into play.
Is there any benefit in listing the highly commended second, third, and fourth?
No, there's too many.
Yeah.
No, even with 2, you can't do it no.
So this way is a nice way of sharing the love.
Yeah.
Because as you know,
They're all deserving.
But as you know, Iris loves
Yeah.
filmmakers.
Yes.
And Iris loves you as well.
I love Iris.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you think she loves me?
Yes, I do.
Brilliant.
I mean, you have your own bar.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah. Shall we go and
Yeah.
drink?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.